Papipicado, the Mexican art of paper cutting. This Mexican tradition can be found all throughout Mexico. The beautiful tissue cuttings are hung throughout houses and streets for just about every occasion: births, weddings, funerals, and of course the Day of the Dead. Although it has become widely known for its Mexican association, its actual origin is from Asian and European art, and it all started in China with the invention of paper. Here we have paper cutting from Jiangxi. The Jiangxi paper cuttings were the first known cuttings. Its origin is China, but as it spread through Europe into areas such as Germany, they developed their own style. Here we have Scherenschnitt, German paper cutting, which has also become more widely known in the Pennsylvania Dutch style. And in Poland, they developed Wisseniki, where they layered paper cuttings to develop their own style. And in Mexico, it's taken on a life of its own. Papipicado can be found in just about any place you go in Mexico, in every shop and on every street. And today, you'll have the chance to make your own Papipicado. We hope you enjoy. To begin your Papipicado, you'll need a few things. A pair of scissors. As long as your scissors are sharp, any scissors will do. A glue stick, preferably one that is not drying out, because a glue stick that is too sticky will rip tissue paper. So a good fresh glue stick. You'll also need a piece of string and of course some tissue paper. And you might need more than one piece, so have a few available. If you've ever cut a snowflake before, you'll do just fine. Your first step is to fold the top of the paper down about 1/2 inch. It's better to have more at the top than less. A small fold will not hold your string. The string will be placed once the project is finished, but this needs to be saved as our space. The next thing we're going to do is fold this piece of paper in half. Being precise about your folds is not that important, but try to be neat. Now, one more fold. This top portion is not to be cut, so you can cut all throughout this project, but never the top. That's where your string will go. Now, the first couple of cuts, we're just going to go down the row. We can go on this side and we can go on this side. But just like with a snowflake, you're always going to skip a space in between cuts, and your cuts should fall down to the ground. So you can cut into the project like this, as long as you're not going too far in, and then let that piece fall on the ground. Skip a space from that cut, and then cut something else out. Now, the more you have practice, the better you'll get, and you'll be able to cut some more fancy designs. If you're a left-handed cutter and have difficulty cutting, I'd like to suggest that you place your scissors in your right hand. The left hand does all the guide work anyway, So if you lock your hand and never close your scissors, so this is all that you ever do. You can even rest your hand on the table. This is the only motion you make. You'll actually be a great cutter. So it's not just about having the right scissors, but never closing the scissors. Now, once you become good at this, some people are able to cut even little pictures into their designs. But I suggest, as a beginner, just do simple shapes. Nothing too fancy. Make sure every piece falls to the ground. Having a placemat helps the mess. You won't have to clean up as much. You can just dump your trash into the wastebasket. I'm cutting a lot of simple triangles, but every once in a while, if you'd like to try doing something unique, please try it out. Now I'm going to do the other side and the bottom. The longer you take and the more cuts you make, the more intricate your design. Taking your time and putting very detailed cuts will prove to be worth it in the end. I'm going to attempt to make a little palm tree, but notice I said attempt. I've never done this before, so I'm going to see if I can do it. Maybe that'll be a palm tree when I come out. Who knows? We'll see. Skip a space every time. Now there's one other cut that you may not know about. And this type of cut happens when you fold the paper additional times across the short way. This type of fold creates a whole nother section in here that you can cut into. Be careful not to cut into things that you've already cut into. So think about your space. It looks like that's the space that I have. I could cut a little something out, even if it's just a little hole. Now I've got some space right about there. I'm going to fold that spot. And I'm going to make some little tiny diamonds. Skip a space, skip a space, skip a space every time. Without skipping a space, your design will fall apart. And remember, with every mistake, it's something you've learned. Don't be upset, just continue on with another piece of paper. Now I've got little holes there. I'm going to skip down to this section in here. And I'm going to cut something long. Ooh. And one final fold there. And I think I'm going to just make one little cut. Now I'm ready to open up my design, and just like a snowflake, the magic is always there. When you open it up, you never know what you might see. And there we have my Papipicado. Now, to finalize it, it does look like a little palm tree, doesn't it? And look, I have little hearts too. You could say they look like birds. Now to finalize, we have to attach our string. So you're going to reopen this section that you were saving and not cutting on, and you're going to apply some glue with a glue stick. When you use your glue stick, advance the glue up just a short amount, and then run the glue stick down the crease, the very fold. Hold on to one end and go off the other. Remember, if your glue stick is old and too sticky, this will rip your paper. Press your string down in the middle and then close up right over top. And you're ready to hang. Once you're ready to hang, you're going to give your tissue paper to your teacher. Your teacher will take another student's and attach it to yours. 2 strings are placed together, wrapped around the finger, placed through the loop, and then the next student will be able to attach theirs. When they're all finished, they'll be hung through the halls. If you make more than one, you can add it to the banner, or of course you can make one to take home. I hope you've enjoyed your lesson on Papipicado.